Their players were cut from a different cloth. Renegades with faces only a mother could love.
We were the black colors, the skull and the crossbones. And
when the Raiders sense fear, anxiety, or weakness, they go for the throat.
And our goal is to win, to be on top, to maintain our level of excellence, so that everything we do has singleness of purpose.
We always tried to play within the rules and, you know, maybe stretch them a little.
They played clean football. They played fierce football. This was the most physical football team I've ever seen.
Yeah. If he did make a catch, he paid a big price for it. He was going to get hit. You know, he was going to get abused verbally, physically, any other thing we could do to take his mind off of what he had to do and just intimidate him a little bit.
When you thought of the Raiders and the mystique of the Raiders,
John Madden and this group invented what I call Raiders mystique because they had it.
It was all about intimidation football, Skip.
Okay.
It was just kind of a feeling that once you became a Raider, you were going to go out and you were going to destroy people, you were going to hit them, you were going to intimidate them.
And the only 15-yard penalty I ever had in my life in a regular season game. And what happened was Jack Tatum hit a guy on the sidelines in bounds and knocked him out of bounds, and the referee throws a flag. So I say, you know, that's wrong. I mean, he hit him, it's not a penalty. You know, and then I added a few bleeps.
Let his players play.
Madden let the Raiders be the Raiders.
Now, there's nothing that is worse than a phony, because players will see through a phony. You don't have any longevity.
Let his players be themselves and fight for them.
There you go. That's nice.
All right, way to go, Herbie.
Now, if you're going to have longevity, you better be yourself. And you better be yourself every doggone day.
Sometimes you gotta let the horses run wild.
The last thing I'd say when I was coaching Raiders before we went out on the field is don't worry about the horse being blind, just load the wagon. You don't worry about anything else. You just go whip the other team.
There wasn't a lot of late hits and stuff. I mean, I didn't teach that stuff. I just taught them to play hard.
The fiercest hitter at safety ever. And Jack Tatum, aforementioned by me, fiercest hitter in the game.
They call him the assassin.
Yep, the assassin.
The Raiders' hardest hitter was the assassin, free safety Jack Tatum.
Throughout the 70s, he made some of the biggest hits that we've seen in NFL history. His ferocious style of play will never be forgotten.
Jack Tatum wanted to be known as the one guy to ever play the game that if you come near me, I'm not only just going to hit you, I'm going to make you regret that you ever played professional football.
The fiercest hitter at safety ever. And Jack Tatum, aforementioned by me, fiercest hitter in the game.
They call him the assassin.
Yep, the assassin.
Not only did Jack do the job, he did it well. Later known as the assassin, his reputation as a ferocious hitter ultimately preceded him.
Tatum's shots sounded different. Most guys tackle, and you hear shoulder pad, there's a certain sound you make. But a Tatum tackle was like a car wreck.
Football is a collision sport, and Jack Tatum was as good a collider that I've seen in a football uniform. And the fact that he was a secondary guy and could deal out that kind of punishment, I tip my hat. He's not a criminal to me. He's a heck of a football player.
And Riley goes on the ground and lays there, and his head, the eyeballs went back up in his head. And I said to myself, he killed him.
I will never say that anybody out there in the NFL is trying to kill someone. But if there was somebody, that would be Jack Tatum.
Maybe the greatest hit of all on Sammy White in Super Bowl 11. One of the most iconic shots of Super Bowl history. This image captured the essence of safety Jack Tatum's style of play.
Head under the chin, the guy be gone. But a knockout was like Tatum's specialty.
John Madden and this group invented what I call Raiders mystique.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had it.
It was all about intimidation football, Skip.
Okay.
We always tried to play within the rules and, maybe stretch them a little.
They played clean football. They played fierce football. This was the most physical football team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We're playing the Raiders in the Dome. It was 4th and 1. Earl Campbell had the football, and he and Earl collide on a sweep by Earl around the right end, and it was a collision that was heard outside the Dome. And the two guys hit and collided, and they just was like that, like two ram. And then they just fell into the end zone for a touchdown. Both of them knocked out. That was the most vicious hit that I have ever witnessed in a lot of years of football. And I know about 4 months later, Bum traded for Jack Tatum. Not many people had hit Earl one-on-one like that.
Professional football in America is a special game, a unique game. Played nowhere else on earth, it is a rare game. The men who play it make it so.
He came in, and it was not an illegal hit. He just caught him just right, as sometimes happen. It was like a very unfortunate accident, but he caught him just right as he went up and left his feet to try to catch a pass that was virtually uncatchable.
Right.
And it sent Darryl Stingley on a stretcher to the hospital. And John Madden, after that game, was so distraught about what he had seen on that football field that he went to that hospital. I'm not exaggerating this a bit, to see how Darryl was. And he found that he was in even worse shape than John thought, because he became a quadriplegic after this, because it shattered vertebrae up in the top of the spine. And Madden was irate that no Patriots officials, no coaches, no players, nobody was there for Darryl Stingley except the coach of the other team, John Madden.
Right.
He spent the night with him, and he immediately called the airport to see if he could catch somebody from New England to say, hey, he's in trouble, man. Right. Somebody needs to come and be with this young man. John Madden continued to visit Darryl Stingley at the hospital, a rival player. That's who he was. Trust me, I know all these coaches. They can be cold-blooded, they can be heartless, they can be ruthless. Right. He was none of the above.